Hey people, I wrote my first line in alchemy, in ancient English alchemy, and I'm going to show you how the rabbis would misinterpret this, and I'm going to show you the correct ancient English alchemy reading of it, alchemy, and I'm going to teach you a couple more things here. So this has got, I wrote this because I wanted to explain these punctuation marks with some English style letters that you'll recognize. And so this will read in the ancient what they call Hebrew. These are actually called a Aryan block style alphabet, and it'll read the same. And I'm going to show you how this reads. So the rabbis, they don't know. They can't read this. They were lied to in school, and now they're just misleading you to let you think that they can read it. I've never heard one say that he can read it, but they'll let you think they can because they've been to school for 14 years after they finished college, and they just want to get out and get their job. But so this first letters, this A-T, this three pieces of punctuation in here, and this A is one of them. This A means, read this word backwards, so it's T-A. And so they never give this word a meaning. Maybe I think 2 times they'll give it a meaning. They'll call it and or something. But this isn't. This is this one here, to bear from God, and then they don't see this to created, and then I guess they did. The heaven, the is here, e shamim. So this at sits right here between created and the, and when they give a word a meaning, they'll put it in red, and they never do here. The only time they do is if there's a vav in front of it, and then they'll say it means and so they'll just go straight to this word, this MRDE, and they'll say this means to go down. And you'll see this word here in Genesis 46:3, MRDE. They say it means to go down. To go down, the slaves. And see, they don't even understand what this line means, so they just skip over it. They go straight here. OBD, the I in the delta, the I in the triangle. It's on your dollar bill, and it's most of the time it means slaves. Sometimes it means to till the earth, but it means to see bid, to do your bidding, to see bid. The I in the house, and the D, the door, to see bid. The slaves. You see it here. OBD, shall be my slaves. To the slaves, as bond servants, a slave. A bed, OBD. Shall be my slave, shall be my slaves. So, and what that means is they could be paid to do anything. They will do your bidding for $1. To go down, the slaves, a bid, a nital. And so this, I don't know if you'll find this word in the Bible or not. Usually niter is assault. But this is the reason I wrote this. I noticed that Italian is actually Latin backwards, and so Latin is called the Italian Vulgate language. Italian Vulgate is language, but the way they would read this is to go down, the slaves, and we'll just say this means of Italy, and that's usually the way they would pick up words. They just add all the words they want to make a meaning. And so we'll say this says Italy, and then who hate the snai, S-N-A-I. This is it here, S-N-A-I, of those who hate, hating. To hate, who hate. Of those who hate. And this is where your word snake come from. S-N-A-I, and K would be on the next word. And so they will say that means who hate. And then here's that first word again, but it has the vav. And so they'll give this the meaning and all off, and sometimes they give it some other meanings. But they'll say this means and then to battle. The bind from Alchemy is to battle. And we see that here, the bind from Alchemy. The bind from L-M-L Chet M-E for battle, the war, the battle, the fight. And so this Chet, it looks like the E, but it's the H, and it's called Chet, and it's often pronounced C-H, Chet, the L-C-H-M-E, the Alchemy. So that's the way they would read this. And you know, they have many different meanings. These words have different meanings. They can change this up, whatever they have to make fit their bill. But this would be the false Hebrew interpretation of what this is here. To go down, to murder the slaves Obed of Italy, the Nital of who hate, the Snai, and the Vat, and to battle, the bind from Alchemy. And so the proper reading, this AT is the first punctuation, and if it starts with the A, you read it backwards. It's T-A, two. And the only time you read something that starts with the A is if you got to this wall here and you're reading this backwards, and then when they start with the A, it would read the other way. So in that way, this fashion, this means to murder, and the other way, it's also the dream to. It still reads to either way. Or if it was to come after a hyphen, this next word reads backwards. So if it started with the A, then you would read it with the A in front. But otherwise, when you run into an A, that word reads backwards. So this is what this means, and it means the seal knowledge. The seal knowledge. A seal is a picture, or writings, a mark, the mark of knowledge. And the reason we don't get this is because we should. This is the first game you play with your children when you're teaching them to read. It starts with the A, so we'll read it backwards. What to? This Vav. The Vav replaces the V, the W, and the U. And this means connected, and that's why they say and when they see it. But and this gives them poets the ability to write in both directions like this and still be able to make words. If it wasn't for these two letters that do this, the Yod is the hand, and it means the work. The J, the Yod, and the I all means the work, or to make. And so the first game you play with your kids is what to. And so this is the what, the connected seals, the connected K seal, connected the A seal, connected the T seal, the cat. These are connected seals of the writings, connected seals of the ball. So you play with your kid. What to the cat? The cat, what to here? What to the ball? Ball, what to here? this first word reads as two, and then murd, M-R-D-E, murd, and this is where your word murder come from, to kill. There's some places in the Bible it'll mean kill. Just the one I pulled up is where they said it means to go down, which is to go down, to kill, to bring them down, to murder. And then you hit this wall and you read this backwards. And so this E reads with both words. When you hit a wall, it's a mirror here. So you go back and read it all back this way. The dream through the first waters. The first waters is the waters in your head. The dream too. And usually the dream would be called the holum in the Bible. It says dream, to say the holum, like a holograph. So to murder, to kill the dream too. It reads again. And then you're back in a OBD. The OBD, to seeing through, to kill the dream, to kill the dream, to seeing through. And then this has a tack. And so we read it backwards. And so this is Latin, to seeing through the Latin. And then it turns around and reads the other way. But you only read this N letter one time. So now it's the I-T-A-L. And so when they're doing this, the words often will mix with the next word. The I-T-A-L, I-A-N-S. The Italians. To murder the dream, to see bid, the Latin Italians. So this S is already used, so now it's nay, to not. And nay is the word for no in the Bible, except it'll be backwards. It's spelled N-Y-A most of the time, and so it reads backwards. So when you see it, it's A-I-N. So it's actually N-A-N-Y-A. Nada. Not. The Italians, not what bind from alchemy. To murder the dream, to see bid, the Latin Italians, not what bind from alchemy. And the dream has been murdered because they see not what binds from alchemy. And so you'll see here in Exodus 15:3. This is Exodus 15:3 right here. It reads backwards. And this is given the meaning Jehovah or Yahweh, and it never means that. It means you. Y-E-W-E. You. It starts with an A and this reads backwards. You see power. S-Y-A. You see power from alchemy. You same too. You see the power from alchemy? You're the same too. You are a distillery. You are alchemy. And so the Bible teaches about the alchemy of the stars, and the alchemy of plants, and the alchemy of human. And that's what they don't want you to know. And that's why they've got this bullshit interpretation, and they can't read it. We could see here a couple of their misinterpretations. May all who hate Zion be put to shame, or backward, may all hate Zion. But what this says is the Ruah, to awaken the power that calls not Zion to cross make win. To awaken the power that calls not cross make win, that calls not Zion. Here's this starts with this word, the sneh is not, thub, is not center, thub. Thub is the where the robe ties up at your belly button, the center, the thub, and it's also the star in the center. Right now is Polaris, but it used to be thug. The serpent's belly button, the serpent's asshole, was Thuban, is not center. They hate good and love. And so you really have to study. It takes a while to look, and you'll find out that they just make all these words up as they go along. So I'm gonna cut this off here, and then I'm gonna work on a long one here. This is gonna be long, but I was looking at the word Father, and it sent me down this trail. You see, all these are all Bible hubs that I've got opened up that I didn't want to lose the page. But it sent me down this trail. And I'm going to show you how I use the ancient Greek and the ancient Hebrew to interpret this, what looks like the ancient Ethiopian script here. And yeah, it talks about this in the Bible. That's why this has been hidden. You never heard of it. But if you type in the Turin erotic papers, you'll find this ancient porno magazine that they had recreated. All right, good day.